So I want to propose a quick strategy on how in the 21st century we could, as a country, reduce the probability of war going into the future. War is not good. No one likes war. War's expensive. People die. It's just, and it just doesn't. It's just not. It's not a humane means of resolving conflict anymore. And so, what I'm proposing on a very simplistic level is the Social Media Business Enhancement Act. And like I've said, I've written about it, I've talked about it, I've done interviews. The basis of the act is a bipartisan movement to remove the regulations that are stifling small businesses. And there's a lot of details to it. But how that connects to no war is this idea. So there's so many small types of businesses that can be created through social media today. Like almost anything that you have, any type of resource or value point in your environment, you can export it internationally through social media. But to turn it into a business requires a lot of things connected to that. It's very expensive, there's a lot of taxes. So we want to remove those taxes to make it easier for you just to start a business. And so by starting this business from a social media perspective, you can now engage with global people around the world, the global economy. And so in you engaging in this global economy is now opening up global communication amongst people. Like outside of government and big agencies communicating and representing large amounts of people, people can communicate with other people, and people can trade goods and services with other people all around the world. And so, for example, like a person who lives, let's say an African American person or any ethnic background in America that lives in an impoverished part of America, say they don't have any resources. Maybe they just have personality. Maybe they just have a life story. Maybe they have the ability to make, a certain type of a t-shirt or whatnot. They can find a global audience or people around the world that will buy in to whatever goods or service that they're able to come up with. And the same thing goes for someone in another part of the world. And so now we're creating this communication of culture and learning between people outside of government. And so historically, countries that have had great trade relations never went to war. But now we're saying we're in the age of the individual, where the individual has just as much power as companies and government organizations and even the government in a lot of levels. And if people connected and came together and exchanged goods and services together, we can influence global government to say, like, hey, you know what? We're not going to fight with so-and-so. We got to find a different way to do it. So the Social Media Business Enhancement Act creates an environment where people can trade goods and services with people all over the world. And we're going to create a global culture of learning and appreciation and empathy. And through that space that comes through exchanging goods and services, we influence the governments around the world that war is not an option because I have too many friends that are over there.